Hey guys, I hope you're doing well. Welcome to today's reading. So with today's pick-a-pile reading, I'm going to be looking into your person's true feelings and their intentions towards you and with this connection. And as always, keep in mind that this is a general reading, so not all the messages that come through will resonate. So take what resonates and leave the rest for somebody else. If I'm unable to pick up on your energy, that just means that today for this pick-a-pile reading, I was not tapped into the vibe of your connection and not really tapped into your connection's energy. And in that case, maybe you can check another pick-a-pile reading in the playlist, in the Love Readings playlist on my channel, or just pick another reading to watch here on YouTube. A lot of wonderful readers post on a very similar topic. So let's get started. As usual, I have 3 piles for you to choose from. And these are all fire and ice crystals, the crystals that you see on top. So the first one, oh, whoops, look at that. The first one is this purple crystal, fire and ice crystal with fig tree, and the keyword there is knowledge. So that's for pile 1. It's possible that the messages that these cards represent, they will be somehow connected to the actual reading itself, and I'll talk more about that when I begin the reading for each pile. Anyways, the second one is this fire and ice red crystal tower with mullet, and the keyword there is community. So that's for pile 2. The third one is this yellow or perhaps mustard yellow colored crystal with what is that, sea turtle card, and the keyword is travel. So that's for pile 3. Okay, so go ahead and make your selection. Pause the video if you would need some more time. If you think you need some more time, go with your first instinct, and all the timestamps to the readings will be in the description box as always. So click on it and that will take you to your reading. I'll see you there. Bye. Hi, pile 1. So this is for those of you that resonated with the purple fire and ice crystal or the fig tree with the keyword knowledge oracle card. And I'm going to put this on the side for a second, and we'll see how this oracle cards connect to the reading. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, or maybe, I'm unable to pick up on how it's really connecting, but we'll see that after the reading. So let's get started with the tarot messages for you. What does your person feel about you and this connection, and what are their intentions? So what is your person thinking or feeling about you, and what are their intentions? Okay, we're starting with the Ace of Cups. What is your person feeling towards the connection, and what is their intention with this connection? Let's see. We have the Knight of Cups. Okay, already I'm seeing like really truly positive vibes here. So the Ace of Cups is that surge of emotions and the feelings, and since it's talking about like the ace and the number 1 in the whole sequence of the Cups card, aces usually talk about new beginnings. Either that, or it's talking about like acknowledging the feelings that come up to the surface in whatever context. And of course in this it means the relationship. Then we have the Five of Cups. So But yeah, this is what I meant. Like, before I begin talking about your reading and the cards and the energies that I see, I want to draw all the cards first. So give me a moment so that we can put that in the right perspective. You can skip ahead to the point where all the cards are drawn. We have Two of Swords. Because I'm going to start speaking about the reading once I have all the cards on my table. So feel free to skip ahead and just watch from that time in the video. What is your person's thoughts, feelings, and intention towards this connection? Four of Pentacles, okay. So I feel like your person, I'm going to talk about this confusion and this lack of action that I see with the Two of Swords and the Four of Pentacles. I definitely feel like your person does acknowledge the feelings that they have towards you. They definitely do have romantic feelings in this connection. They feel very connected, and the Knight of Cups is actually a very sweet, romantic kind of energy. So this makes me think like your person is wanting to express themselves to you, to let you know how they feel, to talk about their feelings, and to give you some kind of an offer, okay? But we also have like very contrasting energies with that. So with the first part of the tarot spread, we have the Five of Cups as the central energy. I just want to draw another card to clarify what is this Five of Cups energy, because it actually comes as a surprise in the reading. I feel like your person is dealing with loss and, you know, feeling disappointed, dejected. I feel like this is coming from their past, to be honest with you. Like, in the past, your person has been hurt enough to become sort of like doubtful about relationship, about love, and just not being able to trust. I feel like somebody has betrayed your person. We have the High Priestess. Okay. Yeah, so intuitively I feel like, you know, your person, and this is something that they might have not told you. With the High Priestess, this can also talk about like secrets and things that we keep from somebody else. Of course, it's a card of intuition, but it also has that undertone of, you know, not really revealing much. And in the card, if you see this High Priestess, or the lady that represents the High Priestess, she's kind of partially hidden behind the curtain. It's like she's about to pull the curtain even closer to her body, or to conceal even more parts of her. So I feel like this might be a part of their lives that they have not really talked about or not revealed to you as yet. So I feel like even though there are feelings here, a lot of feelings, okay, this is Ace of Cups is kind of giving me that vibe that your person is really, what do you call, drunk on these feelings and these emotions that they have as a result of this connection with you. The Knight of Cups is wanting that desire, wanting to make that offer to someone, and it's interesting that this person, or this figure that represents the Knight of Cups, it's sitting with a heart and on a lotus leaf. So I feel like lotus to me is a symbol of transformation, okay? Having gone through a journey of transformation, things changing, evolving, the soul evolving to maybe higher states of consciousness, which is why I think like in the past, your person in the area of love and relationships has been through a lot. And I feel like that is the reason why there might be somewhat of a pause, okay? Not a break, but definitely somewhat of a pause in this connection, okay? You might be able to sense that at times your person really is coming across as confused about you and about the connection, and not very clear with their intentions, with their plans, future plans, and that's because they are genuinely confused. Okay, the Two of Swords, typically in the Two of Swords, as is the case with this card, there's something obstructing the view, and that something is a distorted sort of perception, or it's pointing to the fact that your person is unable to see the situation or see the connection, see the relationship as it is in its most purest, most genuine, most precise form, or maybe they are not cognizant or unable to be cognizant of all the actual facts of the relationship. Okay, so this is, their vision, their perception being marred somewhat and by something, and I feel like this is the thing that is going on, like things from their past. Okay, you might or might not know about this, depending on where you are in the relationship. So as I said in the beginning, in the intersection that I'm reading for the collective, this is a general reading, and if you have watched pick a pile readings before, you already know that not all the information will resonate, but for most of you, I feel like this could be like the reasons why they are flip-flopping and why they are coming across as confused and uncertain in the connection. The reasons of that is hidden in the past, or are hidden in their past, and how deeply and profoundly they were affected by whatever happened in the past. Okay, and I really see like a lot of pain, sadness, disappointment. Disappointment is kind of like the vibe that is coming up really dominantly, or really standing up and grabbing my attention, like disappointment into or in the area of love and relationships. It's almost like, in the past your person has really invested themselves in a connection, but they were left with nothing. That's the vibe that I'm getting, So that might be one of the reasons why your person is really taking the time to do something about these feelings. So the feelings are there, but it's like a hesitation with progressing, hesitation with maybe even changing things, because Four of Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles is, you see all these like locks and chains on the fence, and this woman is standing behind it holding a house very close to their chest. So this is hesitation in changing their environment. Okay, another thing that I'm getting, that for some of you it could mean that your person is in a like family type connection, or maybe they even have another connection with someone, and they're quite hesitant to make these big changes in their life in order to welcome you in a way that's very substantial and solid, like offer you something really solid. But that's again not because of like lack of feelings, and not because even a lack of desire, because this Knight of Cups is that youthful, flirty, romantic energy, and which represents kind of like the desire. For me, it represents a desire to further this connection, to communicate with you, to be open about their feelings. But there's something like from the past, the disappointment from the past, that seems to get in the way. Okay, now let's look at, this is what is going on with them right now. So we are looking into what's happening right now, but let's look at let's clarify the energies even more. So I'm going to draw some oracle cards here. What are your person's true feelings towards you? One. We have soulmates, and it's interesting that this card comes up close to the Ace of Cups and the Knight of Cups, which for me as a tarot reader, I do look at like organically where the cards fall in a reading, soulmates. So Definitely, I feel like for most of you, if not all of you, this must be a connection in which a lot has happened. You have changed a lot and transformed a lot alongside with your person, and both of you have had really deep, meaningful experiences enough to have transformed you. Like I said, we see two butterflies. I don't know if you're able to see this image, but we have two butterflies holding their hands, flying together. And butterflies to me is a symbol of transformation. So this is really a deep connection, which I feel like, they acknowledge with the Ace of Cups energy and the Knight of Cups. As I said, this person, like especially with the Eight of Cups, the thing that is really prominent and grabbing my attention is this individual sitting at the edge of a lake or pond or what have you, but with their eyes closed and really hugging that cup of feelings. So that's what made me feel like they're really drunk with emotions, really drunk with feelings for you, so feeling really close to you, a really intense connection. With the soulmate connection and the journey that is on a soulmate, love connection, or within a soulmate love connection, that usually comes into our lives when we are at a point of time where we are wanting subconsciously or spiritually wanting to progress in terms of our own spiritual development, which typically means like learning lessons through a connection, and really gaining a new perspective, or just like deeper spiritual lessons. That is what a soulmate connection brings to the table, and for that usually the feelings mutually should be intense enough, because if it was like a casual connection from both sides, then we hardly remain, we don't see the effects of that, the emotional effects of that, as much as we would see in a connection that is quite intense in terms of feelings. So I feel like that is there for my Pile 1 people. This is a very very intense connection, a very close connection. So let's get keep getting more cards from the Lover's Oracle to get a perspective, or insight, not perspective. I meant insight. Ooh, okay. What is your person? I'm drawing cards from the Lover's Oracle deck, which is a heart-shaped deck. It's a real challenging, really a little challenging to shuffle the deck. What is your person feeling towards you? What are their intentions? Now this says, the past is now behind you, release it and embrace new possibility. A new path is available to you, follow it with faith. So I feel like your person is really trying to have the faith. Like I said, something from their past is really affecting this connection. Could be a past relationship, and it definitely feels more like in the area of love and relationships. The details of that will be of course different for each of you that are watching this. So the cards here very aptly, they're not really giving me all the details, but in the area of love and relationships, they have been through a lot, and they have really endured a lot, I kind of feel like, and have been left disappointed, as I said, and they're really trying. I feel like your person is really trying here to leave the past behind them. Okay, so transformation, I feel like is happening. It's not something that's not even on their mind. Like for example, like they're not just like flowing with the vibe of not being ready. They are wanting things to change, if that makes sense. I hope I didn't say that in a very, very complicated way, but basically your person knows that there are some things that are interfering with the connection. What those are, they might not be telling you right now, but they know. I feel like they have that knowledge that this perception, this viewpoint, or this stance that they hold towards you and the connection, this is not accurate because it doesn't line up with the details of your connection. Like I said, even though with the Two of Swords energy, like I said, there's always sort of a inability to view the connection or view the present moment or whatever, the confusion is about. There's an inability to view it in its most precise version. Okay, so I feel like your person is very aware of that they are not really being true in terms of how they are interpreting the details of the connection, and they are wanting things to change. They are wanting to release it, like this card says, release it and embrace new possibility. Sorry, I tried to pick up the card, but like with my nails, since I got them done, I've been unable to like pick up cards as easily. Yeah, there you go. Release it and embrace new possibilities. So I feel like that is something that your person is really trying to do, but as of right now, that has not changed. We are going to look at their intentions and we are going to get read into that. But as of now, they still seem to be somewhat stuck, okay, in a place of indecision and hesitation. So what are their true feelings towards pile 1? What are their true feelings towards pile 1? What do you have? It says outdated thinking, conditioning, replaying events in your head, and the word is cassette. So yeah, need I say more about this card? It's simply, being stuck in a loop. Like that's what comes to my mind as well. Being stuck in a place where they are, like I said, not really thinking correctly about this connection, unable to really synthesize all the information, all their experiences, their emotions within this connection. They're unable to synthesize that into something that is correct. Okay, I don't want to say like aligned, because I feel like it is naturally aligned. This is a very loving and intense and an important connection of their life, but it's like they're unable to see that or unable to perceive it as such. And what this does usually is like whatever like problems crop up in the connection, you see this like outdated thinking and also like conditioning. What that does is when we think about, let's say, the problems within this connection, when your person thinks about that, instead of having a solution-oriented outlook towards the connection, what that does, it triggers the past within themselves, okay? And they immediately sort of try to make they immediately associate the problems of the connection right now with everything that they have gone through in the past, and they might draw conclusions like, oh, this is just going to be exactly the same as, this other person from my past. It's going to be, just as painful, and oh, my person is, it's not like they're probably looking at you, not with a lot of trust, I feel like, for some of you, because like I said, they keep playing the instances or the problems from the past in their heads, and that is what happens when they encounter like any of the problems within this connection. So they immediately get triggered, and it's like they replay the same cassette over and over, thinking, maybe, things are gonna go for a toss, and this person, you guys that is watching this reading, maybe you are also going to hurt them in the past like they have been hurt. So that explains a lot. That card explains a lot why, they're unable to act on it, and why this Two of Swords really is the vibe of this cassette card, which is like inability to think clearly. It's outdated. It's based on their past. But they are working on releasing it. I feel like they have this awareness in their minds, and at the back of their minds at least, they know that they might be viewing things in a faulty light, and the problem is in their heads. And I know this is very like irritating to hear at times, you know, that the problem is not them. Sorry, the problem is not you, it's them. But that seems to be really true in this connection, in this reading for pile 1. Okay, let's get some more oracle cards to clarify what are their feelings towards you, pile 1. What are their feelings towards you, pile 1? We have attraction. You attract romantic love. Try enjoying this moment fully. So I feel like the only reason, not the only reason, one of the main reasons why this person might be still connected to you, and that's the vibe that I'm getting for most of you. I'm not getting the vibe of somebody having walked away. I just feel like, you know, this person being like very stuck and indecisive, or coming across as like really confused about the connection, but I'm not getting the vibe that, you know, this connection has ended or what have you. So attraction, they really do find genuinely do find your energy very attractive. They think that you are very attractive, you know, physically, romantically, spiritually. And, you know, I'm also getting like they find you very interesting, you know, whatever your interest, your own pursuits, your hobbies, or everything that you do in life. I feel like they find it very interesting and intriguing. So like I said, this is not about you. This is like, you are really, I get the feeling, like looking at the attraction card and the vibe that you're bringing to this connection, I don't think that, you know, you could do a better job than this, really, seriously. And I would say keep doing what you're doing, because it's not about you, and you're not at fault here. And they recognize what you bring to the connection. They recognize your value, your worth. And I also get the feeling that when they are with you, like I said, the Ace of Cups energy, like being really drunk on love, like really feeling that connectedness to you in this relationship, and just feeling really happy in the moment, like when the moments that you guys spend with each other, however that might be, they really value that. And it's kind of like, I'm getting the sense like it's kind of like the high point of their lives. And again, something that they truly love. They wouldn't give it up for anything, you know. In fact, I'm getting the feeling that this person would not want to walk away from this connection. They would want to, I'm going to read it about their intentions in a little bit. I just have to grab another tarot deck for it. So I might have to pause the video for a second. But like I was saying, that I'm not getting the feeling that your person is like wanting to walk away from this, but there's Four of Pentacles energy in which they're not really making a move or making any changes to make you feel like you are, you know, welcome in the most truest and genuine sense of the term into their lives, and they're not really like advancing towards that. This can be very frustrating for you. But here's what I would say, that I'm not getting the vibe that your person is willing to like let go of this connection. You know, all this seems to be like they are inwardly focused as well, and an awareness comes through from these cards, an awareness about their own problems and their own issues, and the need for them to work on them, okay, work on those issues. So I'm not getting the vibe that, you know, your person is willing to like walk away or let go of you. And in fact, I feel like they really see your value. They have these feelings that they have for you are really deep. That's the vibe that I'm getting. Okay, I will be right back in a second. I have to grab another tarot deck, and we'll go into the intentions on this connection, or about this connection that your person has at this time. I'll be right back. Hi, so I grabbed the other tarot deck, and now let's look into the intentions of your person based on what we saw in the first portion of the reading, which was, looking at their feelings. So based on the feelings as they are right now, what are their intentions? And this card kind of jumped out. This is the Chariot in reverse. So what are your person's intentions towards you and intentions with this connection? With the Chariot in reverse, it certainly feels like there will still be a little bit of time before your person makes any kind of progress with the connection. The Chariot is about, having complete control over our inner and outer selves, as they are represented by the black horse or sphinx in this tarot deck, and the white sphinx, and also like our light sides and our dark sides. The light sides would include all the positive feelings, positive emotions, and in general the positive aspects of our persona. The dark side is all the negative aspects, and that includes our shadow self, everything in the past that comes up in this reading that your person is still working through resolving, and the effects of those things on the present circumstance. So I feel like, they still do not have, with this card coming up in the reverse position, they still don't have a lot of command and control over those aspects. And by that, what I mean is, not allowing the darker aspects of our psyche, of our persona, to affect the decisions and the progress in the current situation. So looking at this, I feel like there's definitely still time. There's still time for this person to make some real kind of progress. But let's keep reading. Let's draw some more cards. So what are your person's intentions? Even if they're taking time, I guess that is okay, because I certainly see the intention in the first part of the reading with the first tarot spread that we drew for you. I certainly saw the feelings, I saw the desire, and a recognition that they have to move past the blockages. Then we have the Devil. Oh, okay. The Devil is actually, this card really has a bad rap, and it looks really negative in a way. And in some sense it is, but it's kind of my favorite card in a tarot deck. And that's because the Devil, despite us being chained to the Devil, okay, and these chains can represent, like I said, all the darker sides of our persona. And the Devil also talks about negative patterns of thinking, okay, the one that we saw with the cassette card. It also includes things from the past, our conditioning. So everything that this card said, the cassette card, outdated thinking, conditioned, replaying events, so going back in time and sort of we're operating from a flawed or an injured or a wounded self. That is represented by the Devil. But here's the best thing about the Devil. It is the understanding that these chains that bind us to the Devil, it's basically, you are keeping yourself chained to it. There's no real restriction as such. And there is immense power here once that realization hits. There's immense power in that realization, and immense potential for evolution and for growth and for transformation. The horns on the Devil's head, they represent transformation. So this is, the ability, or like I said, the potential, the immense potential to raise your vibe or raise yourself over and way above the circumstances that you feel tie you down. So in your person's case, they might stay for a while, like I said, with the reverse Chariot energy, they might still stay stuck in this place, but there is immense potential, and I saw that in this card. The past is now behind you. Release it and embrace new possibilities. So I feel like there is a genuine, I'm still getting this overall sense that there's a genuine desire with your person or in your person to get out of this funk that they find themselves in and work on their healing, work on transforming. So let's keep reading. What are your person's intentions towards this connection and towards you? What are your person's intentions with this connection? We have the Five of Cups again. Okay, the Five of Cups. What are your person's intentions with this connection? And if I do find that your person is going to remain stuck in this current vibe that they seem to be harboring within them, I'm also going to draw advice cards for you, what you can do to take care of yourself or align yourself to the outcome that you desire. And we'll see what comes up with that. Oh, see, we have the King of Wands, and he has like what is this called? Like the thing that you amplify the sound with. I'm unable to like the name of that thing is not coming to me right now. But announcing yourself, eagerly sitting up in his chair there. Okay. What are your person's intention towards this connection? What are your person's intention? We have the Justice. Okay, coming into balance, doing the right thing, doing right by this connection. Yeah, I really get the feeling that, you know, this is going to be a temporary phase. With the first three cards, the intention, I'm also seeing like the magnifying glass or the mirror. Okay, in this Five of Cups, which is a little different rendition of the Five of Cups from the previous tarot spread. And I feel like your person is really, like I said, I'm getting the desire within them to examine their own, state of mind, their own reaction to whatever it is, whatever pain in the past that they went through, and learning from it. Like, compare the two renditions, okay? I'm trying to get to like explaining to you why I feel like such a different vibe from both these cards. We have the three flowers here, which represent the cups. And in this card, there are these three cups again, which is usually how the Five of Cups is portrayed. But in this card, if you'll see, the focus, the person's focus is on this mirror, like looking at their journey, looking at themselves, making an attempt to understand, who they have become as a result of this experience. That's what I feel. And with the two cards coming up after that, it's quite encouraging. Like, again, like this vibe that I'm getting from the spread is being sort of underlined that this person will overcome, okay? Will overcome the blockages that they are finding themselves stuck in. And the King of Wands, it kind of makes me feel like your person has or feels in a way that they have lost that spark and that passion which is needed for seeing a connection to its rightful end or doing right by the connection. And I feel like your person is going to step into their power once again with this King of Wands energy. I also feel like they will be more vocal about their feelings, about their intention. Like, they would tell you quite clearly about what they are thinking of and what they are planning to do. So I see a complete different, like a total shift in their vibe. Like, see how different these cards are, and also the cards in the first portion of the reading talking about their feelings. But I really feel like your person is on the verge of stepping into their power and really, like, things something is going to happen, okay? Something is going to happen between then and now, or between now and, you know, the near future, which makes them really see the value of this connection, makes them see your worth, and lights that spark almost within them to give them the capability to like go after this connection. Okay, and I'm also sensing one big thing that I'm sensing, that you won't have to do a lot. You might be inspired to take certain actions. That might be true, but it will not be something that, you know, you planned or strategized, or just basically the message that is coming through for you is that, you know, keep being you, keep vibing the way you're vibing, staying in your power and doing everything that you're doing, because not only you intuitively know this, but also your person understands this, that the current circumstances is not because of you. It is really, it's like that cliche, which I know like sometimes we just hate hearing, but this is not about you. This is about them, and they have to rise up to the occasion, which I think that they will, because there is certainly a desire in this person to do right by this connection. Okay, the Justice card is all about arriving at a place of balance and doing the rightful thing with this connection. Okay, let me clarify a few energies. I want to see, you know, what happens between, like I said, between the phase that they are in right now to this, like the King of Wands and the Justice. So I'm going to draw one card for this spot right here. So Spirit, how does the transition happen with this person, with Pile One's person? How does the transition happen? How do they rise to their power of being the King of Wands? Let's see. We have the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so something in your environment, something with your life, either with your life or their life, or, you know, both of your lives, something changes. It could be to do with like money matters, or like their business or career going well, and them finally feeling quite enthusiastic and out of their funk. So given that this is the Pentacle card, it could be literally to do with their, you know, like I said, the material aspects of their life. But this is new inspiration. This is a new beginning. Like think of an infusion of a brand new energy into this connection, okay? Which makes them feel more hopeful, like they can take a step towards you, towards this connection, and building it the way it deserves to be built, and the way that they desire to start something new with you. Okay, the Ace of Pentacles, the kind of beginning that comes with the Ace of Pentacles, is usually something that pushes us out of our comfort zone, but the circumstances, you know, around that happening, the Ace of Pentacles manifesting in our life in whatever way it does, the circumstances are very supportive. Okay, there is still a little bit of discomfort when leaving the comfort zone behind, so to speak, because, you know, in this card, like if this cloud thing, or, you know, being has to start something new, it's like it has to leave its garden of comfort, go beyond that arch that we see at the end of the garden road to whatever lays ahead of this cloud being, like I said. But all of a sudden there's this infusion, because of things changing, that seems like a very definitive possibility. Okay, so again, the story, the actual details will be different for all of you according to, you know, the details of your connection, and you would intuitively know like what needs to change. But it seems like this is going to manifest into some kind of like a real action, your person becoming more verbal with their thoughts, their feelings, their intentions, and doing right by you. I also feel like for some of you, I'm getting the sense that it has to do with the people in their lives. This might not resonate with all of you, but definitely for some of you listening to this reading, and it's got to do with people around them that have been expressing their unhappiness with your relationship or disapproval with your relationship. And I feel like that is going to shift. Not only that, but despite, even if like that doesn't shift, even if other people's like opinion on the connection, on this relationship does not change and it still remains like negative, I feel like your person will still come forward and take those steps towards you. I want to clarify the justice energy here for 1 second before I move on to the oracle messages. What is the justice energy? Like, what does it mean that they are going to do right by pile 1? What is the justice energy here? Okay. We have the 8 of Cups. Yeah, so this is moving on from these problems, and this really makes me feel like, you know, more so about the people around them, okay? The people around them that are unhappy with this connection or have been opposing it in some way, like telling them that maybe, oh, it's a bad idea. And I feel like your person is going to move away from all of that drama. I'm getting the sense of drama being in their life, you know, in some shape or form. And let me know in the comments below if that resonates with you, this specific message, if it did make sense to you. But there's some kind of drama that they still need to like walk away from, which they will. Okay, for some of you, like I said, it could be that the person that we were talking about in the 5 of Cups card in the first part of the reading, which I said for some of you, I'm getting the sense that this person is involved with another party. I also got that sense from the 4 of Pentacles card. So it could be that, you know, your person finally finds the avenue, the circumstances change in a way that they are able to like completely detach themselves from that connection. Okay, so yeah, overall I do feel like there's a lot of hope with this reading. Let me get a couple of oracle messages. What is your person's intention with your connection? What is your person's intention with your connection? Pile 1. We have the owl. It says deceptions/wisdom. Yeah, so really, you know, I think your person is getting, as the time is progressing, I think they are getting to a place where they are feeling much wiser. Okay, the owl is is of course a symbol of wisdom, but it also is a symbol of being able to perceive things in a much clearer way. I mean, enhanced perception. Think of the owl like it can see everything very clearly in the dark. So even when there's no sun out, it has the ability to see clearly and to even hunt and function really fully in the dark. So I feel like perception about the situation, about the relationship, and about the problems where they view themselves stuck. And it's interesting that I dropped this card right on the devil's card, the devil energy, which was like them feeling stuck. That is changing, that is evolving. And not only because I'm reading this card, in the light of like finding an answer for the intention. So that's the larger context. I feel like I kept saying, you know, I must have said that 3 times already, and I apologize if that is irritating, but I feel like this is a desire for your person to really, like I said, change their perception and become more wiser, much more wiser than they were before. We have the novice, that's innocence, beginner, ignorance, new skill, without practice, unstable, curiosity. Okay, so I feel like the Ace of Pentacles energy is what comes to mind, or what you know, this card reminds me of. I feel like, you know, everything that this connection needs okay? The changes that it needs. Some of them might be the kinds that your person has to instigate, or they have to be like proactive. They have to be able to stand their ground and call the shots. And I feel like they are not used to doing that somewhat, okay? It could be like, especially if there are other people in this connection, whether it be like the person from their past or for people around them, they're not really used to like speaking up or, taking definitive steps for themselves and, in line with their own desire in the face of everything that is going on, like everything, all the other people putting their energy as a like additional layer on top of like everything that is problematic, quote unquote, with your person, which is like being stuck, as I said, in a certain mindset. So that when we do, we become, or we make the choice to become more proactive and take charge of our destiny, and we sort of just decide that, this is about me and this is about my life and a question about my entire life. So I'm going to do right by me. Arriving at that place, executing all of that takes a little bit of practice. And I feel like your person is still sort of finding their solid, stable ground, solid sense of self and security, to turn into this King of Wands energy where, then things start rolling like really fast, and things start changing for you guys really fast. But I still think like your person is in this place where they know that they are not used to this and they're kind of practicing that skill, okay? They also are intending to find that faith within themselves for this connection. Like I said, in their past, I got the sense that your person has been like betrayed, or the trust has been betrayed, or they've been really let down and have been like really disappointed because of a previous connection. And I feel like they're really finding that place within themselves where they can open the door to romance with you, okay? So it's gonna take a little bit of time, I'm sensing, but everything so far between the two of you has been quite amazing with that soulmate energy. The Ace of Cups, the Knight of Cups, it's been great, it's been romantic, and it has really made them feel like, that the first romance, the vibe of the first romance, the beauty of that, and kind of like a beginner in the field of romance. And they are trying to, they intend to become more faithful to that vibe, to that feeling, and allow it to carry them to become more sure of themselves, if I made sense, okay? So let's see, let's get one more card from which deck? Which deck should I use? Okay, this one. Okay, so what are your person's intentions towards you? Pile 1. What are their intentions? So wounded energy, definitely, and I would, looking at your cards, based on the cards, not like my personal recommendation, I would really encourage you to be the stronger one for a while. And if you do want to manifest the connection with your person, to stay optimistic, have faith in your connection, and have faith that, things will be resolved and that circumstances will change and you will find a new beginning with your person. Okay. Eagle, it says ancestral healing. Your ancestors are holding space for you to heal your past. The eagle is also, all about perception, taking a bird's eye view. Eagle is usually like a bird that's really patient when it comes to their hunting, a planner, really hovers over like at a great height and from that height, it's said that it can see things more clearly and it facilitates the hunt. So that is also making me think of perception, like I said, for this pile. This could be true and relevant to some of you, that the patterns, especially like the devil, the kind that the devil energy talks about, or the devil card represents. This is like, you know, our behavioral patterns and ways of thinking. So maybe your person is coming to a realization that the way they are and everything that they are has got to do with their background, with the family. What is it called? I forgot the actual term, but it's a well-known like psychological term, which basically is about repeating the patterns of your family, and that's how you bring the past to your present circumstances. And they might be recognizing that there's a need to heal all of that, and with this relationship I feel like that's going to get healed, and they're going to find a sense of liberation from those patterns. Okay, all right, so let's get some channeled messages as the last portion of the reading for you guys. Whoops. Okay, so what does your person want to say to you, pile 1? What would your person like to say to you? Pile 1. Let's see. I cannot stop thinking about you. What else do they want to say to you, pile 1? That makes sense, and I feel like it's the power within your connection to them that's gonna really not only instigate the process of transformation and their own healing and sort of freeing themselves from the chains that, you know, bind them right now, but yeah, I feel like with the attraction card, you're at the forefront of their mind. It's not something that they can shake off, and I don't think that they even want to shake it off, to be honest. Sometimes I stay awake thinking about you. More the cards to represent like rumination and thoughts, and really you being on their mind. Like, this doesn't surprise me. Can you tell us a message that, you know, would actually surprise us, Spirit, please? What does this person want to say to you? Or maybe not. Maybe this is something that you guys needed to hear. If there were any doubts in your mind, I hope that they are taken away by those messages. I really do. I want to feel that way again. So no matter what type of or what stage your relationship might be in, have faith in this connection. That's really what I want to say to you guys. Have real faith in this connection. You and I were too young. Yeah, so maturing a little bit maybe is something that your person does feel was necessary. I know that they understand that they were not too wise with this connection. Maybe they did something that they regret. They said some things that they regret. And I did get that sense that, you know, they were not up to the mark as yet, but I think that they are understanding that it's not about you, and also to a certain extent they're not blaming themselves, just seeing it as like, you know, being at a different stage of consciousness and being stuck, and which is great. I feel if they don't blame themselves, neither do they blame you, and understanding that it's just the consciousness, the level of consciousness that is different here. What else? I want to be more than friends. So for those of you that were in a relationship that was kind of like a situationship, your person is definitely wanting more out of this connection. Wow. What do they want to say to you, pile 1? What does your person want to say to you? I look for you everywhere. Certainly a lot of cards that talk about like you being on their mind. So I feel like that could be a question for those of you that are, or that might be in a no contact situation. I feel like, you know, this message was needed for you guys especially. I knew exactly what I was doing. Yeah, so I find that your person is quite aware of their mistakes and everything, like the problem being them, as I said, quote unquote problem. I don't really mean to imply that they are the problem, but I find that they are very aware of the issues you're in. They might be someone that are self-aware in general, like more than average, because self-awareness is really, sometimes I find it's a rare quality. I do think like that sometimes, that, you know, it's not. But I think the self-awareness is quite high up there with your person. I know that I crossed the line with you, so this is them wanting to like apologize in cases, you know, or in situations or in connections where they know, like, again, self-awareness, like your person is showing a lot of self-awareness here and knowing what their mistakes were, and knowing what they were doing, knowing that, you know, it's just a matter of like being in a different state of consciousness. Anyways, my intention was from the reading, or with the reading, was to like give you clarity and tell you exactly what we saw in the cards, and just be like a good delivery person, I hope, of any sort of spirit message that comes up for you for this connection. And yeah, I was thinking about the card knowledge and how that resonates with the reading, which most of the times I find it does. So here's what I think. I'm looking at this tree with a really thick trunk, thick roots, and a lot of branches, okay? So this to me gives me the sense of like standing really tall and assured and sure of yourself, in your values and of the things that you really do want and manifest, and do want to manifest in your life, okay? So I really feel like, you know, the energy of someone or something that really stands up for what it believes. Also, this makes me feel like, you know, knowledge, this word like makes me think of understanding. I feel like the message here is to understand what is going on beneath the surface, as I hope that you got a sense of through this tarot reading. But knowledge, like understanding what is going on underneath the surface, and taking any sort of a decision not based on just the surface details of this connection, but going much deeper underneath the surface, like I said, to enhance your own perception and your own understanding of the situation, okay? So I hope that this reading did provide you with an insight that helps you do just that. And yeah, I hope this was useful. And if it did resonate, if you did find it useful, I hope that you will leave a like to this video, and please subscribe for more future readings. Come. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Hi Pile 2. So if you chose this red Fire and Ice Crystal Tower with the mullet card, the keyword being community, this is your reading. Welcome. So as I said in the intro portion, I will be looking at your person's intentions and their feelings. We're going to start with the feelings first, and we are going to use another tarot deck to get an insight into their intentions with this connection. So let's just get right into it. What are your person's feeling towards you at this time for Pile 2? What are your person's feeling? And also at the end of the reading, I'm going to get a sense of how that card, the meaning that the card holds, how that, you know, connects with the tarot reading. So What are your person's feeling towards you and towards the connection for pile 2? What are your person's feelings and intentions, or just the feelings for now, towards you and the connection? We're starting with the Four of Swords. Okay. So the Four of Swords is a card of withdrawing into our own selves. It is a card that represents contemplation, meditation, taking the time to think about the connection, but it also is a card of hope, in which there is immense hope for progress, for action, and we'll get to know that as the reading unfolds. If you hear the pitter-patter of feet in the background, that's just my dog. She is around me and she keeps switching her positions. Then we have the Death card. Okay. Death is all about transformation, but it also could imply a pause for now in this connection. So it could be that you are no longer in this relationship, or in no contact with your person for now. Let's see. What are your person's feelings towards you and the connection? We have the Star. Okay, things really change. Like I said, Four of Swords also denotes a certain amount of hope with it, of progress, and the Star is all about healing, all about a renewal, a hope, infusion of hope in the situation. So I feel like your person is definitely going through some sort of healing themselves. If this situation is such that, you know, you're not in a relationship anymore or not in contact with them, what are your person's feeling towards you? We have the Seven of Swords. Okay. What are your person's feelings towards the connection? The Seven of Swords makes me think like maybe this person, the connection, if it has ended, especially in that context, maybe this person, you know, didn't really reveal much to you in terms of like their feelings and why they are ending the connection, or if they did give you a reason, that the reason was, and most probably is, deceptive. They were not really open and incapable of being like completely honest in this connection. And we have the Two of Pentacles. Okay. Okay, so I feel like there is a lot of confusion here, okay, when it comes to your connection in your person's mind and how they feel about it. I feel like with the Two of Pentacles energy, the Two of Pentacles is literally assessing, okay, a lot of like contemplating and comparing and not knowing which direction to head into, what to give your time, resources, and energy, which pentacle to invest your time, energy, and resource into. And we also have the Four of Swords, and we also have the Death card. So I kind of feel like this is a time when your person is really, whether you are in a connection with them right now or no, it applies to both those circumstances and both those stages of the connection, but your person is really taking the time to heal, okay? And the Seven of Swords, that makes me think like your person at this time, it's like they're not capable, okay, or they're not able to be completely honest with themselves as to their own feelings, okay, about this connection. There's this is also a card of self-sabotage and of, you know, not being able to really make the right assessment, okay, and feeling the need to either keep some things from you or just lie to themselves about this connection, okay. But we have the Star energy as the central energy, okay, in this spread, and the Star energy is very positive, is very healing, okay. This is being this is a place from where the healing process and the transformative process sort of begins. Okay, and it could be the other way around for your person, in the sense that, you know, this need for transformation, something happened in this connection, and something happened between the two of you that was kind of like a wake-up call for your person to, whether consciously they understood this or no, but basically the circumstances of the relationship, they became kind of like the wake-up call that was needed for your person at this time to really work on themselves. And I feel like that is what is going on right now in this situation. Okay, I'm going to clarify these energies a little bit more. I want to begin by clarifying the Seven of Swords. What's the Seven of Swords energy? Spirit, can you please clarify that a bit further for us in terms of their feelings? So throughout the connection, you might have noticed that your person is being very evasive in terms of like any kind of real conversations with you, being more open about their feelings, being more open about how they are viewing this connection, and giving you like, you know, something of substance to carry on. Okay, and like I said, for some of you in which your person has chosen to walk away or distance themselves, or, you know, restrict access to them somehow, they're not, like, basically what they're doing is they're taking a lot of time to contemplate, to think about this connection and what it means to them, and reach a place of decision with the Two of Pentacles. So a lot of context in which that card can be interpreted, and of course, you know, the right interpretation will be trust your intuition here, and also base it on, you know, what's going on in the connection right now, whatever stage it might be in. But let's get some clarification on the Seven of Swords. It's the Seven of Swords energy here. We have Seven of Cups. Okay, yeah, Seven of Cups is about that confusion, and maybe this is the thing that they have not been able to be completely honest about with you. Okay, the Seven of Cups is, well, the undertone of the confusion is all about emotions. So it's maybe like your person one day felt a certain way about this connection, and then the next day they felt something different. Sometimes they were quite optimistic, and sometimes they were not feeling so great about the connection and, you know, where it stands in their life. And this is the confusion which they felt, I think, at the time, or are feeling if you guys are still in contact, and they are unable to like put it in words. So this might manifest in the kind of behaviors that might even leave you confused. You know, this is hot and cold behavior is what I'm getting from this spread. You know, really into you one day, and then the next day like completely withdrawn, or something of that nature, like, which is opposite of like, you know, completely being in this connection. But that's because your person is not being able to really face their feelings head on, or clarify their own feelings, and what do they really feel about this connection. What's the Two of Pentacles energy here? What's the Two of Pentacles energy here? Spirit, can we please understand the Two of Pentacles energy more? Just not being able to be honest with themselves is what I'm getting. We have the Four of Wands. Yeah, so your person is really contemplating on, or like unable to decide whether they want a long-term relationship with you at this time or not. Okay, I know that that might be a difficult message for some people out there to hear, but I would rather that you have the truth straight up, and I'll just tell you what I see in the cards. So this is about like wanting a stable connection with you, and also wondering if this connection really means their happiness. Okay, but my attention keeps, you know, going to the Star card here, which is about healing, which is about bringing in a sense of balance, okay? Balancing your emotions. As you can see, the star's feet in this rendition of the star card, one foot is in the water, which is representative of emotions, and the other is on the ground. Like, so this is all about coming into balance and feeling more balanced. So basically, how you can look at the star energy in the spread or within this connection is that this is all about them coming to this place of balance and feeling healed and feeling much better than they did in their lives. So this Four of Swords energy, this could very well be, them shutting you out for the time being, or putting an end to this connection, a temporary pause with the Death energy. But it is about, them wanting to feel more certain about this connection and get to a place where they feel like this could be something that could mean happiness for the both of you. Okay? All right, let's clarify the Four of Swords energy. Spirit, can we please clarify the Four of Swords energy here? What's the Four of Swords energy? So in a sense, like whatever happened in this connection, and no matter what stage it is at, know that, this is, again, I'm getting this sense that this is not about you. And I know that it's a cliche, which we don't like hearing, but this literally seems to be a case of, it's not about you, it's about them. Them needing the time to heal. And of course, that doesn't mean that, it's any easier to deal with, just knowing that too. But this is the Six of Cups. Okay. I feel like there was an imbalance in this connection in terms of how much you gave to the connection and how much you received from them. Okay. I felt like they couldn't be as committed as you were towards the connection and towards the relationship. And they noticed that. I feel like they noticed that you were bringing in your 100% and you were being generous with them. And it could be that, in noticing this imbalance, they started like questioning, what is wrong with them, or like, why are they unable to give you the level of commitment and the amount of investment that you were doing at the time in the connection. And I keep saying like at the time and keep speaking of this relationship as if it's in the past, because I feel like, this is a no contact circumstance, or of a connection which is sort of headed that way, or even if it's not like never gonna go, like come to a complete end, I still feel like you must intuitively feel the imbalance within this connection too. Okay, especially with the Seven of Swords and the Seven of Cups energy, where I feel like this person is not able to be very clear in verbalizing their feelings, their intentions, their thoughts about you and about the relationship. So this imbalance is something that if they have taken the time to like distance themselves or go no contact or ending the connection for now, this is about, them first of all like noticing this imbalance and then really assessing if they can be the kind of partner to you that you truly deserve. Okay, let's clarify the Death energy. Can we get more on the Death energy here, Spirit? Can we get more on the Death energy? Why is the Death energy here? Why is the Death energy here? We have the Three of Wands. Okay, so this is planning ahead. This is, future planning. This is future focused card. So sort of looking into direction, or finding a sense of direction in which to take this relationship into. So that's what the pause is about, if there is a pause, or that's what the shift in energy, your person's energy, if you're noticing that, that's what it's about. Like really asking the question, where do I want to take this connection to? And with the death energy, this is major arcana energy. So major arcana energy would mean like major, major processes, spiritual processes, form the foundation of what all of the cards that are encompassing that energy. And that with the Three of Wands, I feel like your person needs to go through some kind of a transformation and healing, okay? And this might be different. What this means might be different for each of you watching this reading, since I'm not getting a clear sense of those details, and it's not just like, okay, this is what the problem is and this is what they need to heal. I'm not getting a sense of that, but definitely like some kind of transformation will allow them to get a sense of direction, get a sense of, where they want to take this connection to, okay? For some of you, I'm also getting like maybe these conversations about the future, like wanting to know where this connection is going. This is something that might be happening between the two of you. Maybe you are asking these questions, and maybe you are wanting to know a definitive like sort of answer from them in terms of like where you stand in this relationship, which is completely fine. But that could be the reason why there is this withdrawal of energy, why if you're in no contact with them, or if this connection has ended, this might have led to this pause in the connection. Let's clarify the star energy. What is the star energy here? It is about healing, but can we get more on the star energy? Can we get more on the star energy? Spirit for pile 2. We get some more on the star energy. Okay. We have the Emperor, yeah. So the Emperor, another major arcana cards, is kind of coming into their power, feeling more assured of themselves. The Emperor is someone who really is in charge and also feels in charge and feels like they are wise enough to direct their lives and to take charge of their lives. And I see like the Emperor wearing like the red clothing here, and the red to me is representative of the passion. And the Emperor, with the life that it creates, or he creates, and of course, like, this is not about the gender. Like, you watching it could be a female or male, it doesn't matter. Your person could be any gender that they identify with, but this is basically a person feeling like in their power, feeling in charge. And I feel like not only that is not present in this connection, your person feeling like they are in control, okay? But it's something that is needed. They need to arrive, I feel like, at this stage to be able to do anything in their lives. I feel like the other areas of their life, it must be a similar case. I'm getting a very confused kind of vibe from your person, in which, because your person is unable to be, like I said, be very honest with their feelings and also identify their own emotions. That's the kind of vibe that I'm getting. Someone who remains very confused about what they feel towards anything, let alone be love relationships or love connections, but just in general, like somebody who's not. So a major healing needs to happen, a major transformation needs to happen here until your person can really do something about this connection. Okay, so just based on the spread, just based on what I'm seeing here, I feel like with the intention cards, of course, like, I could be wrong, and we might see a complete different like shift in energy. But just based on this card, if I had to say, I would say that this connection is going to take time to evolve into like a wholesome connection. And like I said, this can be very difficult to deal with, to be at the receiving end of this energy, right? When someone is so confused and unable to identify their feelings, when they don't know what would make them happy when they are confused about the direction, unable to think clearly, okay? Confused about how they feel. It can be very frustrating to deal with this energy. So in the end, I think I'm going to draw advice cards for this pile, especially. Looking at the cards here, I feel like I can't just leave it hanging and be like, you know, hey, this is what it is, and you've got to deal with what is. I'm gonna draw some advice cards for you, looking at, you know, how you can heal from this connection, or how you can align yourself to a more positive guided energy. So we're going to get into that, but let's get some more oracle cards to see what is going on. What are the true feelings towards you and this connection for pile 2? What are your person's true feelings towards you and the connection, pile 2? I feel like in this healing process, another thing that comes to mind, it's like this problematic tendency or aspect of their psyche or their behavior that's going to get healed. Okay, this confusion and not being honest with their feelings, not being able to be honest with themselves and therefore you. We have boundaries, okay? So this makes me feel like your person, for some of you at least, that they might have put up boundaries, walls around themselves. And we have this iron heart, like this is their way of really protecting their own heart. Okay, and we have the owl and the lion or the tiger, which to me are symbols of wisdom and strength, respectively. We also have the moon, which is all about our shadow selves, clearing, you know, the illusions of the mind. And I feel like if they have somewhat cut themselves off from this connection, I feel like they are going through this process of, you know, gaining some more wisdom and becoming much stronger in their own person. And also this is their way, I feel like, of protecting their heart, and shielding against heartbreak. At this time at least, I feel like they think that would be the best strategy, either limiting the contact with you or, you know, completely cutting themselves off from this connection. Okay, so let's get some more oracle cards. But certainly they have put up a wall. This makes me think, you know, what are their feelings? But that's just their way of dealing with potential heartbreak. I'm also getting a little bit of, and I probably shouldn't say this and it will be difficult to hear, but I'm getting sort of like a selfish vibe really from this person. It's like just because they are confused and, you know, immature, they really don't disregard or have no regard in a way of how they would make other people feel. It's almost like, as long as I'm okay, I don't care, like how this pile 2 person, my person, is coping. I think they're unaware in a way of the effect that their tendencies can have on people. Okay, so this says, beware of what you're projecting, for the qualities you admire in one another are qualities you both possess. Equally so, the qualities you don't like are your own reflection. Okay, so projection, which is a psychological term, and basically what this means is like the negative emotions, especially that we feel, or it also could be positive, both negative and positive, that we feel within ourselves. We sort of project it, or we give the same qualities or the same emotion to someone else, which objectively might or might not be true. So this makes me feel like your person, there must be, like I said, I'm getting a little bit of selfish vibe, and also maybe they blame you for the problems in the connection, or maybe they sort of tell themselves that, they had to distance themselves, or they had to cut you off, or they had to like really slow down in this connection, which is quite unfair, of course. Like, this is not about you, this is their problem. But this makes me feel like your person is totally projecting everything that they're doing and telling themselves that, of course, like, I had to do it. Okay. And they're not understanding that if they're viewing whatever actions and words you said, or whatever like you are asking of them, which is, wanting a dependable, secure answer from them, in terms of like your space in their life, which is what I get from some of you from that Three of Wands energy and the Death, asking them, like what direction this connection is headed. They might see that as, sort of like a clinginess or what have you, like, why are they being so restless? Why are like pile 2, why are you being so restless? Why are you being so, or needing the answers? Like, why can't you just go with the flow or something like that, which is what your person would have absolutely loved. In this connection, as long as they are not put on the spot and like they're not being made to talk about the things that are difficult for them to even understand, let alone talk about with these energies here. So they must be like completely laying the blame on you, which is of course a subjective thing from their point of view. I'm not saying this is the objective truth, or I'm in no ways implying that you did something wrong here. So let me be very clear of that this is their feelings that I am reading about, and I feel like there is literally some projection going on here with this connection. Okay, let's draw one more card. Oops, I'm sorry, the cards seem stuck to the table. There we go. Okay, so what are your person's feelings towards you in this connection for pile 2? What are your person's feelings towards you? Whoops, so many cards dropped. And I usually do take jumper cards, but not when I drop like half the deck, which I just attribute that to my clumsy nails. And I say my clumsiness, and it's mostly because of the nails. I don't know why I said clumsy nails, but I attribute that to the clumsy nails because like since I got my nails done, it's been like difficult to handle the cards, and I kind of enjoy the nails, but I'm also regretting it a little bit. Not a lot, a little bit. Okay, so what are their feelings towards you, pile 2? Okay, let's see. We have sunglasses, watching, looking, stalking, perception, focusing out. Yeah. So this card kind of like encompasses like a lot of things that I have been sensing and like talking about in this connection, in this reading. So for those of you, okay, that have that find themselves in a no contact type of situation or a low contact, I feel like your person sort of keeps one eye on you, still really like not really completely disconnected from this connection, but we have gaslighting here as well. So that is, them not validating your feelings. And that typically happens when there's no validation of their own feelings within them. I love how organically I look at the placement of the cards and where they fall during a reading. And it's interesting that I, place the card here with this 7 of Cups and 7 of Swords. And, when we gaslight our own selves in a way in which like we are unable to acknowledge our own feelings, that's when we do that to others. Okay, and focusing out, so that makes me think like, your person is more self-focused and, taking the time to figure out where they stand and how they feel about this connection, rather than, being in a connection with you and connected to you. So even if this is a no contact situation, there certainly is this vibe of your person kind of being checked out. really, of this connection, which, as I said, I acknowledge that it can be kind of difficult to deal with. Let's get one more card. What are your, okay, this one dropped. Whoops. And we have a honeymoon. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. Okay, so this makes me feel that this connection really did start off on a very high note. I'm going to draw one more card from the same oracle deck. I intuitively feel like, but yeah, I feel like this connection really started off on a very high note, and it's like when things started getting serious, you know, like when things started getting real. Because when we think of the honeymoon, we think of that phase in a connection where everything is like hunky-dory and everything is rosy and things look nice and bright. The future looks like really optimistic, and just like two people being in an extremely good mood and sharing that company together. So it could be that in this connection there was a phase where this happened, and now that things are starting to get real, your person might be wishing that things went back to that carefree kind of place where you were before with them, and like not wanting to deal with the serious aspects, if that makes sense, in the connection. Okay, which is very immature, I must say, of them, but I am getting that immature kind of vibe from this connection. Okay, putting that back, I want to draw one more card. What is your person feeling towards the connection? So I think it's like this connection would have sailed fine, but of course that was not meant to be, and that is not how it should be. If you were the one asking these questions about, you know, like, where is this connection headed, or that creating a tension between you two, then they should have really been able to give you that answer. So it's not really fair, but this connection would have sailed fine if it was just like in that happy phase without these difficult conversation. Okay, and we have, keep an open mind, your soulmate may differ from your usual time and expectation. Okay, so I feel like your person, for them, and maybe also for you, this might be something of a surprising kind of connection, not the regular kind of person that you go for when dating someone or connecting with someone, and it must be the same thing for them. It must be quite unusual, something that really piqued your interest. Okay, and I feel like that is still there, like looking at you as someone that does interest them, gets them curious and, you know, feeling intrigued about you. And keep it open mind, that also makes me feel like your person at this time has not really made a decision, okay, on this connection, on the future of this connection, and they're just sort of keeping it open, okay? They're wanting to arrive at this place like really organically through their own internal processes, and they're not taking the pressure, so to speak, to make any kind of decision. They're like, we'll see what happens. We'll see how it flows and where it goes, okay? So let's get into the intention portion and see what they intend to do with you and this connection. What is the intention for pile 2's person about this connection? What are their intentions towards you, pile 2, with this connection? We have the Page of Cups, okay. What are their intentions towards you with this connection? What do they intend to do with this connection? This Page of Cups, Cups is a suit. What am I saying? A suit. Yeah, Cups is a suit in the tarot that has got to do with emotions. Couldn't speak there for a second, sorry. And the Page of Cups is a really like young, if not chronological age young, it also speaks about like maturity levels. So sort of like a youngish energy. Think about like a teenager's approach to love, okay? That's the sense that I'm getting. But I'm also getting, we also have the Page of Wands. Okay, interesting. But I'm also getting like you having caught their attention, in the sense like they are thinking about, this connection and thinking about you and this relationship, but their thought processes might be somewhat immature-ish at this time. Also with the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is about following your passion, but with the page being like, as I said, a young or an immature sort of energy, there's not a lot of strategy that the page works with, okay? They are just, think about like, as I said, teenagers or preteen people, whatever interests them, they kind of jump into it, but that might fizzle out. And that's because they don't really know, the intensity that they feel towards whatever it is that they're jumping into, and they don't have like a real plan or a strategy, okay? But certainly this is like a connection that has caught their interest, and intrigue, both interest and intrigue, with the Page of Cups and Page of Wands energy. It's interesting that both those pages are here, which is really making me think like this person needs some growing up, even though they might intend to keep carrying on in this connection, because there's enough emotions, enough for them to keep them engaged, and enough sort of like interest and passion. But let's see, let's draw more cards to see what really happens. We have the Seven of Swords again. Okay. Okay. What are their intentions towards you, pile 2? What are their intentions with this connection? We have the Five of Cups. What are their intentions towards you, pile 2? Their intentions with this connection. And we have the Four of Cups. Okay, so, and I know this might be something that is difficult to hear, but I'm literally just reading the cards and telling you what is. But I don't think that this person is in the mental, psychological space so that they can give you anything substantial. Okay, I feel like this person has a lot of transforming, lot of growing up to do at this time, okay, so that they would be able to be present in this connection and to take it to a place where it could evolve into a meaningful connection. With the Seven of Swords energy coming up again, okay, I feel, the same thing. The Seven of Cups is deceiving your own self or deceiving like other people, just incapable of being honest about how they feel or what they feel, their thoughts, their, talking very clearly, and really being able to deliver what they are feeling, deliver in terms of like the message to you, in terms of what they are feeling and thinking in this connection. So I feel like in the future, or their intention in the future. With Five of Cups, it's like, this is the energy of feeling disappointed, regret, and loss. And I feel like, it ties well with the energy that I felt before with the projection. This is them, just not understanding fully what role they played in the connection not working out, and kind of just writing it all off, the experience, to one big like disappointment or regret. Okay, which is, you have to understand, like maybe they don't like intentionally intend to do that, but that's just how, that's the level, the maturity level that they are at, and they're still not there yet to be able to view this connection very clearly and to do justice, or think about it in the right way, think about themselves in the right way. So this is a very like I said, your person is just not ready. Okay, ready for a long-term relationship. And the Four of Cups is, disinterest, and there's a tone of depression there. There's a tone of, things that interested me before did not, sorry about that, do not interest me anymore. So I feel like your person might arrive at that place where, they might just be closed off to relationships for a while, not just your relationship, but I feel like relationships in general. And I feel like they have some alone time ahead of them to really work through this transformation that is so needed for your person. Okay, let me get a couple of oracle cards to see what is going on, what are their intentions at this time, Spirit. What are their intentions at this time for pile 2? We have the butterfly with beauty. Okay, the butterfly is also a symbol of transformation, and especially for this pile, as I'm reading on the intentions, I feel like I'm reading on their subconscious intentions more than, consciously wanting change and wanting to transform. And take the message of beauty as you will and as it resonates, but I feel like this is simply about transformation, the deep metamorphosis that your person's soul is needing to go at this time. So what is their intention? Another oracle card for pile 2. Because they might not consciously say, oh, I need to change, or maybe for some of you there is a realization there, but for most of you I feel like it's a sort of subconscious desire or intention. Then we have wolf with instinct. Okay, so the wolf energy, the archetype of the wolf energy is also somewhat immature. And let me explain what I mean by that. The wolf, as we know, they go around in packs, okay? And at times, the alpha wolf especially, or like wolves who want to be in charge, they get really frustrated by the members of the pack that are not towing the line or that are not behaving in the exact same way as this wolf might be or wants them to be. So it's prone to like skirmishes in the pack, or fighting amongst the members of the pack, or feeling a little bit wounded unnecessarily. But that's because like the wolf, not only does it like is good at following its instinct, but one singular wolf of a pack, they might overvalue their own instinct, and they might feel like they are the most like right in making whatever decisions that they have to make. So this makes me feel like your person is learning the value of honoring everybody else's feelings also alongside them. They might be, like I said, I'm getting a very selfish vibe here, or I got a very selfish vibe in which the wolf might be of the opinion like whatever they are doing or however they are seeing the situation or their own feelings, that's the only way to look at something, okay? And at this time, I feel like with the wolf energy, they are learning how to evolve around that and allowing several things in their circle. Okay, this makes me think of the community card and how it relates to this reading. One of the ways it potentially can relate is that your person needs to become more of a performing member of the community. Now, when I say community, it doesn't just mean like, the larger social circle, but also like family and their own personal relationships, and learning how to exist within that community by following the rules, also in maintaining their individuality, which I find that feel like it could be challenging for your person at this time, and they're learning how to grow more tolerant, if you will. Okay, this could be think about your relationships and your relationship and your interaction with them. Their intolerance might be apparent in the connection as well. So they're learning how to evolve past that. Let's get some more cards. What are your person's subconscious, almost I want to say, but what are their intentions? So your person is really on a, big journey. I feel like really long, big journey of transforming, of growing up. Whoops. Okay, here we have the butterfly again with emerging. Take a leap of faith, it says. But again, butterfly is with transformation, a sort of reiteration of the message. So transformation, your person is really on a transformative journey, and a lot will happen in their life. I feel like this person is literally waiting for a tower moment or something like that to happen, which awakens them even more and makes them see the errors of their ways, and makes them see the value of their own vibe in a connection, or what they bring to a situation, and how that is itself flawed and how that needs to change. So like I said, I'm going to take some advice cards for you, because I do understand that being at the receiving end of energy, as I saw with these cards, can be kind of tough. So let's get some advice for you, pal, to as to how to deal with this energy, and what can you focus on. What do you need to do to take care of yourself? Just what can you focus on right now? So advice for my pile 2 people. What should you be focusing on? Okay, it says goals. Okay, so I think the advice here, when I looked at this card and I saw this, person in contemplation, I feel like the sense that I'm getting, I feel like she's really taking the time to refocus, okay? To really redefine, to think about it once again, to immerse in her thoughts and really think about, your goals with your love life and your relationships. So this is asking yourself, what do you really want to create in your life, and really connecting with that. What would satisfy your soul? What kind of a relationship? So going back to it. And this is a good starting point, so that it, makes us aware of how to read energies, like your person's energy, if they cross our paths, and if it is worth our time to invest our time and energy into. Let's look at the back of the card. It says, set a goal, write it down, and release the outcome. Whoops. Small steps make a big difference. Yeah, so look at this as step 1, reassessing everything that you have learned as a result of this connection, and asking yourself, what direction do I want to head into? What do I want to create in terms of my love life? What kind of experiences I need to bring in? Because I feel like with this card, Spirit is kind of hinting at, quote unquote, a mistake on your part as well, in connecting with this person. But, there are no real mistakes as such, to be very honest. everything in life becomes a learning experience, a spiritual experience, if you allow it to be. But this is kind of like telling me, that you needn't waste time on this connection, or you don't have to feel bad about the future, that the future is still hopeful, and it will be exactly what you desire once you get really clear about this desire. Become better, and that's in quotes. What does it say? Discover one thing that would make you better and more empowered at what you do and who you are, and make it part of your routine. If this is difficult, identify why becoming better is something you wouldn't want to do. Your goal to recognize how and why you sabotage your empowerment. This message of this card is profound, okay? So this is really, again, the focus is inward, first of all, and this is about, asking yourself what you can do to better align with the goal that you have in mind. Okay, let's just talk about in terms of relationships and love. And is there something that you can do to align yourself better, which means maybe things that you need to heal, things that you need to pay attention to, or maybe some outward action that you need to take. And if you're feeling some blockage or resistance towards that intuition guiding you to whatever like action needs to happen or whatever you need to do in order to achieve this, then ask yourself, you know, why you feel like you don't deserve to get to this better place. There's a lot that you will be able to unpack if you pay attention to just this question and try to get like an honest, unfiltered answer. Okay? So focus on you. Again, focus on you. Focus on feeling better. Focus on making yourself better and aligning to this, whatever definition of love connections you get from this exercise. Okay, let's get one more card. What do you need to do in order to align yourself to the kind of relationship that you want? What's the advice for my pile 2 people? What's the advice for my pile 2 people? Okay. It says no one else needs to know this, which also is making me feel like no one has to understand it. Okay, let's see. It is not necessary for even one other person to understand these laws of the universe, for you are the attractor of your experience, just you. So this is honoring, just as your person, you know, in the larger sense of the term, they need to understand their own vibe and their own responsibility and role in creation of their own experiences. I feel like through this experience, Spirit is wanting you to learn some of that lesson as well. And if you already do understand this, if you don't, like, I would really recommend that you do some research, read up on, you know, healing yourself and kind of like the whole principle, the spiritual principle of us creating our own lives. I mean, I try to live my life by this principle, and I always feel like the answer to whatever is going right or wrong in my life, I am responsible for it. Okay. So try and spending some time understanding this, try and get fully clear about what it needs to heal and align to the kind of life that you want to attract. Okay. And this makes me feel like if you are looking for validation, or wanting to find resonance of this information or this understanding, you might be just awakening to this understanding too. Okay, you might be going over the details of this connection and wondering, you know, why things happen the way they happen, or what brought you to this point. And you need not find resonance in somebody else, or you might not be able to find like somebody else resonating with the same concept, and that is okay. That is okay. You got this. You are in charge. And even though this might be a solo journey for you, that you will be fine. Basically, this is what it's saying. So for some of you, at least, this message must resonate if you are looking for support, and looking for somebody else to sort of like resolve it for you. Also, that might not happen. It's kind of like the harsh truth of life sometimes. Again, a very difficult message to hear. I acknowledge that, but it is what it is. But it's time to become strong. And like, this is Spirit saying, like, you know, you got this. Like, you are more than enough to take care of this by yourself. You don't really need anyone else to heal you or fix you. Okay? Not that person, not anyone else. You got this. Okay, so what else can you do? One last card for my pile 2 people. What is the advice for pile 2? What is the advice for pile 2 for this connection? Choose your friends wisely. Wow. So this is also making me feel like, you know, being very mindful of the kind of people that you want to connect with or want to bring into your close circle. It could be that this person, this relationship is from within your community of friends, Think about, people you choose to socialize with or hang out with. So for the message for at least some of you here is to really re-examine that and make better choices when it comes to like people that you are choosing to connect. They might be the one influencing in a way that you don't want the influence to be in your life, in this relationship, or influencing you and somehow impeding your progress in aligning to your best self. Okay, so I'm gonna leave your reading here. A lot to digest. I feel like with pile 2 reading, I certainly hope that this was helpful, and I certainly hope that it gave you a sense of peace, a sense of calm, and made you think about things that you probably were not thinking about before. So leave a like if you did like the reading, and I hope that you will subscribe and come back for more future readings to come. Thank you so much for being here, Pile 2. I'll see you next time. Bye. Hey guys, so if you chose this yellow or mustard color fire and ice crystal with this card, the sea turtle, with the keyword travel, and I was looking at the guidebook for this deck, and the meaning of the word travel, it's been interpreted as not just travel in terms of like actual physical travel, like going from point A to point B, but also travel that implies, traveling within yourself or going within yourself. So transformation and just a transformative journey of sorts. And we will see at the end of the reading, or whenever I'm intuitively called to do so, we'll see how this card's meaning connects with the rest of the spread. So that is coming up in a few minutes. But let's begin with the tarot messages. First, I'm going to take a look at your person's feelings towards you and towards the connection, and then we'll move on to the intentions. Okay, so how is your person feeling towards you and the connection? Pile 3. How is your person feeling towards you and the connection? Let's see, so we are starting with the 5 of Cups. Okay. How is your person feeling towards you and the connection? The 5 of Cups, coincidentally, is a card that came up in Pile 2's reading as well, and there's a lot I want to say about this particular rendition of the 5 of Cups. I'll get to that in a minute. So let's keep reading. How's your person feeling towards you? We have Temperance. Okay. How is your person feeling towards you? Pile 1. Oh, sorry. I called you Pile 1, but you're Pile 3. I apologize. How is your person feeling towards you? Pile 3. Then we have the World. Okay. Major Arcana. 2 major arcanas in a row. How is your person feeling towards you? For some of you with that World's energy, the sense that I'm getting is, for some of you, this might be a connection that has effectively ended. And I always say that in a way of saying it for now, meaning that doesn't mean that it's gonna stay stuck in that no contact situation or, having ended. Based on what I see in the other cards, it might change. Another major arcana card of Judgment. Okay. How is your person feeling towards you? Pile 3. Okay. This one. And we have the 2 of Pentacles. Okay. Right. So with the 5 of Cups energy, the Five of Cups, if you're familiar with the tarot, but even if you're not, the Five of Cups energy is about loss, okay? Feeling a sense of loss, feeling regret, just feelings of sadness, disappointment, and it's that phase of time when we are looking at our creation, or everything that everything that we have in front of you. Oh my God, I should take a sip of water. I'll be right back. Okay. Okay, so I'm back. So as I was saying, the Five of Cups is feelings of regret, feelings of loss. But in this particular rendition of the Five of Cups, if you can see, usually how Five of Cups is portrayed in a tarot card is that we have typically these 5 cups, 3 of which have fallen to the side. There's just 2 standing, which kind of denotes, of things leaving oneself in a state of disappointment, okay? But we also have a mirror, right? And this is sort of like a ghost-like, spectre-like figure, and it's looking into the mirror. So the sense that I get from especially this rendition of the card is that your person might harbor some regrets in this connection, okay? Some sort of like disappointment, maybe things not going as planned, and just in general feeling like you are not left with as much as you wanted from the connection, okay? And this might be a mutual feeling, but your person is seriously sensing that. But I feel like from this card especially, there is an energy of introspection, okay? They are becoming aware of their own feelings and their own emotions that they brought to the connection, and they are in a phase of like examination, almost like self-examination and introspection. So going within themselves, kind of in a way how it connects to the travel energy, the energy of that travel card, like I said, that you picked for your choice of pile. So I really feel like your person is in that phase of time in which they are going over the details of the connection, and they're thinking of, what it implies about them and about their energy in the connection. With the World card, as I said, being in the center of the spread, I'm getting the sense that for some of you, this is a connection that has ended, okay? For most of you, if not all of you. If it has not ended, then, it's in a phase where you might be feeling a sort of indecisive kind of vibe coming from your person. They might not be very upfront, or very not able to provide you with a secure kind of like an answer to the question, where is this connection going, if that is something that is coming up in your mind. And I feel like, through their introspection, through their journey of introspection and trying to find out like more about themselves and what this connection, what the details of this connection, what do they imply about their own self, they are learning right now in the best way possible to them. They are learning the art of temperance. I see temperance as the intelligent sort of ability. It's emotional intelligence, first of all, but also intelligence of all of the kinds that kind of make us functional in relationship. May it be tact, may it be, diplomacy, may it be knowing when to speak up and knowing when to hold ourselves back. So, and all these things are needed when you are in a romantic connection or any connection of any sort, because there has to be that wisdom to know when to react and when to respond, or choosing always to respond rather than react to the happenings in a connection. And I feel like your person is maturing in a way, and getting a sense of how to temper their own energies. and know how that affects their love relationships or relationships in general. Okay, the Judgment is also about renewal. Okay, so think about an infusion of renewed energy, of, you know, starting once again. Okay, really taking the time or the break that the world energy implies. If your connection is in sort of a break situation, taking the time to really renew your own self and your own vibe into this connection. And this comes from, like I said, more often than not, it comes from a period of introspection and having learned some really deep spiritual lessons that they need to learn at this time. I'm going to clarify this energy. I want to start off with clarifying the world energy. Okay, so what is the world energy for pile 3 spread? Can you please get some clarification on the world energy? What is this world energy? I'm getting the sense that your person might be more focused on themselves at this time, and kind of putting a boundary or a barricade that is sort of keeping you out somewhat in this connection. Let's see, we have the 3 of Pentacles. Okay, so the 3 of Pentacles is really a collaborative, you know, building together kind of energy. And the sense that I'm getting for this pile, it's very peculiar. It's like this person is wanting to manifest certain things in their lives. Okay, their soul desire, they're listening to their soul's call, their heart's desire in terms of building a certain kind of life that they do want. Now, there is recognition in your person that certain things about them need to change. Like, they cannot be the kind of people that they are right now and expect like great results or the kind of results that they really want. Okay, so we have this energy of co-creation, and I feel like your person is really taking the time to think how your energy and or how you factor into this creative process, this process of creating their own lives. Okay, wondering if, you know, if you really fit into this equation, which kind of points to the confusion of the 2 of Pentacles. I feel like there is a lot going on with your person at this time. So figuratively speaking, they might have all the, like, many balls up in the air, as they say. And this person is really wondering, with the 2 of Pentacles, this is a place of confusion as well, where we literally do not know, like, what should we invest our time and energy into. Okay, so they are wondering if, in terms of like love and relationships, if they can really do this with you. Okay, if you have the ingredients and if they have the ingredients to come together to co-create this vision that they have of a relationship, of a love relationship, if they can really do that with you at this point. Whether it is like a situation that is very related to the time, the point of time in their lives that they are, or if it is about like their personality and your personality, if they are a good match for co-creation, for building their world the way that they imagine. That's the sense that I'm getting. Okay, and that's the confusion I feel like in their minds, but we'll clarify that energy. What's the 2 of Pentacles energy here? What is the 2 of Pentacles energy? The Judgment card, I'm kind of thinking like, you know, something needs to happen. This is a sense that I'm getting. Something needs to happen right before they arrive at this junction where the energy is renewed, and it's almost like this person is waiting for, not like consciously waiting, but the soul is waiting for a tower moment to happen, wherein like all the old structures, which can be representative of like our old belief systems, and taking away parts of us that are no longer aligned with our vision. Okay, so this person is really, like your person, pile 3, is really in the process of clarifying their own vibe is what I'm getting. But let's see, what's the Two of Pentacles energy here? What's the Two of Pentacles energy for pile 3 spirit? Okay. Let's see. We have the Ace of Cups. Okay. The Ace of Cups, in terms of emotions, Cups is the suit of emotions in the tarot, and the Ace of Cups talks about new beginnings. So I feel like this person is really waiting on that inspiration or that emotional kind of charge to inspire them to start something new, or to really feel very sure about this connection. That's the feeling I'm getting. Like right now, it's possible that their emotions might be all over the place. And in fact, I feel like they are very focused on their own self. They are looking at like the problems and the disappointments within this connection. And rightfully so, I feel like they are taking their responsibility in everything that has happened and the way that things have gone down so far. Okay. And I want to say that that's a very positive thing. If you look at this introspection and this ability to take responsibility and that instigating a process of change, it's quite a positive thing. But within this connection too, so far I feel like they have felt unsure about their feelings, and they are really hoping and waiting, I'm getting the sense, for something to kind of make them feel very sure about you and about this connection and give them a sense of direction. And they're trying to bring that clarity, I feel like, to themselves. Okay, let's get the Judgment energy clarified. What's the energy of this Judgment card here for pile 3? So I'm sensing a lot of like being unsure from your person, pile 3. And I'm sorry if that is a message that is difficult to hear at this time for you guys, but I'm really getting a sense of them not being very sure about how they feel towards you. But desiring that clarity, that emotional clarity, and also knowing that, you know, they themselves are not perfect and there are things they need to work on. We have the Knight of Wands. Yeah, so the Knight of Wands is an energy of someone, they really operate from, you know, their passions. Like they really head into the direction, and that is quite dictated by their passion. So anything that they feel really passionately quite sure about, and once they do, once this energy is infused, it becomes like a really rapid progress in that direction. So in terms of this reading, in terms of, you know, your love connection, your relationship with them, this renewal of energy, this feeling renewed, I feel like there is a good possibility that your person will discover that they do feel passionate about this connection and want to build something substantial, you know, out of this. I'm looking at the Knight, and it's looking in the direction of this Three of Pentacles, which was, you know, co-creation with you, and sort of assessing, you know, where do you fall into this equation that they have in their minds, in the creation of their vision, their life. Let's look at the Temperance energy a little more. What's the Temperance energy? It's for pile 3. What is the Temperance energy here? So I feel like there is a good chance that your person will get to that place, but as of now, it's like there's a lot going on. I mean, we have so many major arcana cards in the reading that I wouldn't be surprised if this person is a little bit drawn from the world and seems like they're more focused on themselves, like I said, but it's not about other connections, or it's not like they are busy doing or busy having fun, meeting up with other people. I feel like they're more focused on getting their own answers and arriving at that place where they feel like you two can really be a good match as a partner, and you can be a good match as a partner for them in this connection. What's the Temperance energy here? Can you clarify the Temperance energy more for us, Spirit? Let's see. So overall, I must say I'm getting quite a positive vibe, but yeah, I can see that there are blockages and there are problems right now because this person is just going through a lot. This is Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles is a card of patience, and is also a card of like reassessing. So everything that I was saying right now, you know, you have worked on something, for example, for a long time, and the Seven of Pentacles is the energy where you're taking a pause, you're taking a breather to really figure out if this is something that you really want to keep investing your time and energy into. And maybe for this person, temperance, when I said temperance, it's also about, like I said, tempering your own inner world, your feelings, and learning how to be more or acting more from a place of responding to someone, which is like choosing how to respond to something versus a knee-jerk reaction. So maybe the art of patience is something that your person really needs to learn at this time. Okay, and also be patient with their own selves. Like a lot of messages in a lot of different contexts, this card is making or sending me those intuitive messages in a lot of different contexts. And like I said, this is a general reading, so take the messages that resonate, let your intuition be the guide, and see which falls or which feels more right to you. But I feel like this is patience and learning the art of patience, and also reassessing, you know, do you want to keep going in the same direction? You know, right now they might even be feeling a little bit exhausted as this figure does, as a result of everything that has been going wrong in this connection. Okay, I'm not getting a sense of what exactly is wrong here or what exactly the blockage is here, because that again might be different for each of you that are watching this reading, and it will be different from one story to the other. Let me know in the comments below if you're willing to share your story, and if this information does resonate, which I hope it does. Let me know what the circumstances around your around your story is, and why I almost get the sense like this person's patience is really being tested. Okay, not that you are testing their patience, I want to make that clear, but just the circumstances and just their life. I feel like their patience really got tested. Let's clarify the Five of Cups energy. What's the Five of Cups energy here? What's the Five of Cups energy here? Oops. We have the Three of Swords. Three of Swords is the energy of heartbreak, of heartache, and dealing with something that has been painful in the past. Okay, so I feel like your person, this could be for some of you, because the world is also about, you know, patterns and something coming to an end, like cyclical, in cyclical terms. So I feel like your person has had some sort of a bad luck, or this is their perspective that I'm reading on, and they feel like quite unlucky in love. Okay. Excuse me, I'm just gonna get a sip of water and I'll be right back. Okay, thanks for waiting. Talking was very difficult, and I really needed that sip of refreshing cold water. But anyways, as I was saying, your person might perceive themselves as, you know, being really unlucky in love and not being able to, again, create the kind of life that they want, the kind of love relationship that they want. And now they are realizing, you know, out of the heartbreaks, which feels like not just one heartbreak, although one particular heartbreak, maybe this connection or maybe this relationship is forcing them to look within themselves and find the answers therein. Like, what is it that I need to change? Do I behave in a certain way every time I get into a love relationship, and is that what is responsible for creating the problems therein and the dissatisfaction? So they're really pausing to take a look at themselves, I feel like, which again brings me back to the travel card. As I said at the beginning, the travel, one of the contexts in which the travel keyword that's placed on that card, one of the ways that it is being, it has been interpreted by the book, the guidebook for that particular deck, is the journey within and going within, traveling within ourselves. So this is like transformation in progress, I feel like. Okay, let's get some oracle cards to get some more insight into the connection. So what are their feelings towards you, pile 3? What are their feelings towards you, pile 3, at this time? In the same vein of thought, I might as well mention it here that your person is not really like blaming you for the connection. They just, it's like an intuitive knowing. They know that they have work to do on themselves. We have the silver waterfall, and this is representative of, a place or a sanctuary where we really go to heal. Okay, to get into the waterfall, which is supposed to be filled with healing waters, and allow that to heal us. So the energy of being a little withdrawn with the 5 of Cups and also with the World card, like I said, they might have really withdrawn into themselves, and as a result of that, maybe they are either like shutting you out completely, because the World card is an energy of ending connections, or keeping you away, energetically speaking, in some way. So really a time of healing for this person, and a need to do that, a need to go into a sanctuary of their own self and allow for healing to take place. Really, we also have the 3 of Swords energy. So if this connection was something that has ended and is painful, they are taking the time to heal from that. Or if it's talking about, for some of you, like I said, I'm getting the sense that this is just like a pattern that your person has been repeating from the past. I feel like there's a recognition now within them that they need to go and heal the roots of that, the roots of the problem. Really get deep with themselves. What is your person feeling towards you? What are they feeling towards you? Pile 3. We have the Shaman, ancient healing wisdom. Yeah, for some of you, they might be either, the Shaman also makes me think of a healer. So they might be at this time really connecting with someone wiser, and this could be, like someone from their friend circle, their family, just the archetype of shaman, of somebody who's capable of providing the understanding and the wisdom that is needed at a time that we need healing. Okay, so whoever this person is for them, they might be connecting to that resource, or just in general, this card could represent again that need to heal, because your person is really feeling the need to do that at this time. Okay, let's get one more card. What is, or actually 3 more cards including this one. What is your person feeling towards you? Oh, whoops, that jumped out. We have a burden. Okay, so oops. So the burden card, and it's showing a scene of fall, fall colors, fall trees, and this is when we, shed our baggage or shed our burdens, and really let go of the things that no longer serve us. So think of, the time of fall and then winter, which is kind of like being in a cocoon, and then renewal energy with the spring. So kind of reminds me of judgment. okay? Renewal of energy, like really changing and or moving things around in their life that have or might be perceived as a burden at this time by them, and also like within themselves. So everything that they recognize as, you know, a vibe that they harbored within themselves, but that is no longer serving them in terms of like thought patterns or behavioral patterns or beliefs, you know. So shedding all of that and kind of going towards a renewal. And I feel like this process needs to happen for them to see the light, to find the passion towards you and the connection. It's almost like a circle, this card or the spread, that they're going through all these like major processes, but they come back to seeing the possibility in this connection with these two cards especially. Okay, so yeah, judgment energy put in sort of a different way with the burden card. Let's see more oracle cards. What are their feelings towards you, pile 3? What are their feelings towards you, pile 3? This is a heart-shaped oracle deck, which I've said that before on this channel several times. I find it really challenging to shuffle. But I'm kind of getting used to it. Okay. Oh, this card. It actually came up with pile 2's reading, so that's interesting. It says, beware of what you're projecting. Actually, if you were drawn to pile 2, I would say do check out that reading. You might find that there are certain messages that really resonate for you. And it was a similar energy, if not exactly the same, but very similar. So check it out if you want. But this card was the exact same. It says, beware of what you're projecting, for the qualities that you admire in one another are the qualities you both possess. Equally so, the qualities you don't like are also your own reflection. Yeah, so I kind of find that with this spread of cards that we have here, this awareness of, you know, the psychological term projection is very much a term from psychology, and it basically means that you are more liable to view the world or the stimulus out there that becomes a reflection of everything that is going on within you actually. So it's not about the objective reality of something out there, the stimulus, whatever that might be. It's not about that. It's about, you know, what you're learning through your interpretation of that stimulus. And I feel like with the Five of Cups energy, there's really that awareness that is right now coming up into this person's conscious mind. Let's just make it easier for me, because I can't seem to pronounce that word, but it's really something that is popping up into their consciousness, this truth, or like going by this dictum, you know, whatever's on the outside. It's not really about, you know, the rightness or the wrongness. I don't know if rightness is the word, but we'll go with it. And you know, I hope you know what I mean, that your judgment of something being right or wrong, that's not what this is about. It's about what that judgment reflects within you. So what is it teaching about yourself? Okay, and I think your person is really becoming aware of this phenomena and how it works. So, which is a wonderful thing for their soul's journey. I feel like it's a wonderful thing, and also in the context of this relationship, I feel like it is almost important and something that must happen at this time. Of course, like with this energy, as I felt with the pile 2's energy, being at the recipient end or the receiving end of this energy is not a pleasant thing and can be quite painful. So I'm gonna, you know, take advice cards for you guys too, advice as to like what you should be focused on and what you could be doing. So yeah. What are their feelings towards you, pile 3? We have, oh, look at that. This card, oh, it's very funny because this card came up with either it was pile 1 or pile 2. So kind of a similar theme in which, you know, your people seem to be stuck in sort of like outdated thinking, conditioning, replaying events over and over in your head. So this is the energy of Five of Cups and the Three of Swords combined, I must say. And this is when we are recognizing that something needs to change within our own selves for us to become more aligned with the kind of life that you're wanting to create. Okay, outdated thinking, patterns, conditioning, all that, and shedding that, that's the vibe, that's what is going on with your person right now, and that is what they seem to be very much focused on and very much wanting to change about themselves. Let's go into the intentions based on what we are seeing right now. What is their intention in the near future with this connection? So I'm going to get another tarot deck to read this part. Oh, whoops, this kind of jumped out, and we have the Queen of Wands. Okay. What is your person's intention towards you or with this connection for pile 3? What are their intentions? With this connection for pile 3. We have the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, and the Queen of Pentacles. Whoops, this jumped out. We have Major Arcana card again with the Lovers. That's promising. What are your person's intention? I'm going to move these cards a little to the left so that I have space on the right. What is your person's intention? The Lovers card seems promising. The Lovers is all about feeling a very intense connection with you. And I love the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands energy. I feel like there's a lot of admiration in your person's mind, and they see you as someone, really headstrong, passionate, does their own thing, goes after what they want, is very sure about the choices and the decisions that he or she makes. The Queen of Pentacles is also a very nurturing energy and something that is very grounded in reality. So it's not just about with the Wands energy, sometimes fire can, it can be like a hot flash in a pan or something like that, where it starts off really great, but then there's no grounding. And when reality sets in, everything changes. But I feel like you have stood headstrong in this connection and felt very sure about your person from day one, and they really admire that. And let's see where this heads. We have the Five of Swords energy. Okay, what are your person's intention with this connection for pile 3? What are your person's intention? So with the Lovers energy, I really feel like they do feel a very close bond to you, almost like a soulmate kind of connection, in which they recognize that you have been and always will be a very important part of their lives. Okay, let's see. We have the Fool. Okay. And with this Five of Swords especially, I'm feeling that your person would acknowledge that not having you in their lives, if they have really ended the connection, that it has left sort of an emptiness, a void, okay, within them. I'm sensing that from the image on this card. Like if you see the heart space of this person, that's really empty. There's nothing there, feeling void. Like the heart is almost like gone from its cage, and this person is holding that missing piece. Okay, so I feel like losing you or being away from you, I'm getting the sense that this person is going to want to come back into your life. Okay, and that itself for them would be really a very brave act, okay, if they do get in touch, especially for connections that are in no contact, or even if you guys are in contact, just coming up to you and telling you that they want to further this connection and take it to a meaningful place. This will be like an act of bravery for your person, not something that comes easy, but I feel like they're going to find it in them to be able to communicate that to you. I'm going to clarify certain energies. What is this Fool energy here? And like I said, from the previous tarot spread in which we looked at their feelings, I almost feel like they need to complete a certain cycle to make their way back to you. Okay, this card flipped over. We have the Queen of Cups. Okay, so we have all the queens featured in this tarot reading, and I kind of feel like it is talking about your energy and how they view you. Okay, I wouldn't be surprised if the Queen of Swords also made its appearance, but maybe not. Maybe, you know, the Queen of Swords vibe, which has got to do with, I see her as a very direct communicator. Maybe that is lacking from your side in this communication, you know, aspect of this relationship. Maybe you have not been able to be as direct in your talk with them, because we have all the queens, but the Queen of Swords is missing. So that could be one of the reasons, but they really see you as a beautiful, nurturing, giving energy. And the Queen of Cups, I see her as someone that is so in touch with her own emotions, okay, that she is able to recognize the emotional shortcomings in other people and forgive them. Okay, a very forgiving, loving energy this Queen of Cups is, and I feel like that is going to encourage your person, knowing how you are or knowing how you were in this connection with them. That's going to encourage the person to come back and take that leap of faith. That's going to be the factor that gives them the courage to open up the door again to this relationship. Let's get clarification on the Five of Swords. What's the Five of Swords energy here? What's the Five of Swords energy? Oops. We have the Tower. Yeah, so like I said, this person is really waiting for a Tower moment to happen in their lives, and this separation from you, especially for connections that have ended, or you know, you are not in their lives and separate from them. I feel like they are going to really recognize the effect that this has had on their life and on every aspect of their life. Okay, and like I said, I really feel like this person is a Tower moment, waiting to happen, and something that awakens them to this connection. So I feel like, you know, even if it was their decision to walk away, they would know that you hold the piece, you hold the missing piece, you hold the key to their heart, or however you want to look at it, and how much they are affected by this breakup or keeping you away. Okay, let's clarify the Lover's energy. Can we get some more on the Lover's energy for pile 3? Oops. Can we get some more on the Lover's energy for pile 3? Can we get some more on the Lover's energy? Okay, we have 10 of Wands. Yeah. 10 of Wands, interesting. I feel like for some of you, this connection, like I said, is a very intense soulmate type of energy that I'm getting, and that could be something that has, you know, like overwhelmed or does overwhelm your person. And when they come back, or when they do decide to like advance, make some kind of advancements within this connection, it might still be overwhelming for them, and this is something for you to understand right now as you're watching this reading, to be more patient with them. Of course, like, if you don't want to be let your intuition be the guide, and you do you, and respond as you feel fit. But if you are someone that are wanting to rebuild this connection, I feel like it's important for you to understand that feeling this intense connection and carrying it into the future does somewhat feel like a burden to your person. Not burden in the wrong sense, but kind of like a burden that I want to get rid of, but it's overwhelming in a way for them, because it could be that they are still in the process of healing, or some of it is still left when they do make that decision to make any kind of advancement in the connection. It will still be something that really feels heavy to them for some reason. I want to get more clarification on the Ten of Wands. Like, why does the connection feel like Ten of Wands? Why does the connection feel like Ten of Wands to your person? The Three of Wands. So I feel like this is about the future, the possibilities. The Three of Wands energy talks about like planning ahead and envisioning a future, and really deciding which direction you want to head into the future. And I feel like there might be some details of your connection, either to do with their life or your life, that might seem like a hurdle or a problem, okay, or impede with the process of like them making any definitive plans. And that might come up in a conversation in the future, okay. I feel like they are wanting to speak to you about it, and be more open and honest about it. That's the vibe that I'm getting. But they still might see those, whatever factors they are in either your life, as I said, or there, as coming in the way or getting in the way of them making definitive plans. So like I said in the beginning, I do understand that dealing with this kind of energy, or being at the receiving end of it, is somewhat challenging and can be painful. So I do want to go into advice cards for you, and take a look at what you need to do in order to navigate the situation right now. What can you be focused on? Spirit, can we get some advice for pile 3 people, and get a sense of what they can be doing, the people that are watching this reading. Okay, it says trust. Oh my God, beautiful energy, trusting. So if you are someone, if you are in that headspace where you are waiting to hear from your person, or waiting to grow this connection, this energy kind of makes me think of, this woman is standing in the woods with a violin, just playing her own tune. But in the meanwhile, as she waits, as she, is holding on to hope and waiting for things to change, I feel like she is really standing there with a lot of trust, trusting in herself and her own vibe. So let's read the message. Trust your decisions, march to the beat of your own heart. So this is also trusting your decisions, okay? So whatever it is that you decide to do with this connection, either wait for it, wait for progress to happen, or let it go. This is the time to trust that your own intuition, your higher self, will guide you in the right direction. But this will only happen when you get like really honest with what it is that you want to do at this time. So if that's the question that is on your mind, confusion about your own next steps, allow for the intuitive answer to come to the surface on its own, and trust it. But if you are someone that your honest truth is that you're wanting to work on this relationship and see it grow, then trust that too. Trust that it would happen, okay? Beautiful energy of that card. Let me get one more card. Which deck do I use? Okay. Alright. So what's the advice for pile 3 in this connection? What's the advice for pile 3? What's the advice for pile 3 to navigate this connection? Okay, so we have this one. It says, see God in all things. Let's read the back of the message, of the card. It says, put yourself in slow motion and observe everything and everything through the lens of, this is sacred and it speaks to me. How does that change your environment? Your goal to learn the spiritual practice of seeing God in all things. Okay. So this message is pretty straightforward, and I feel like it is talking about the beautiful spiritual practice of feeling your own connectedness with everything around you. And what that does, especially to our own vibration, is that it elevates us vibrationally to better place, or like kind of, you know, amplifies the positivity in our own vibration. So observe your connectedness. This seems like a very you know, a surprising message to come through, to be honest, in this reading. And you would know better than I can possibly interpret the message of this card and what it's saying to you. So how can you feel more connected to your environment? How can you feel more grounded? And how can you focus on seeing everything as, you know, being a spiritual practice, or everything being sacred at the same time, you know, just as sacred as you are. Okay, this could especially be for those of you that are, you know, sort of losing their patience with the connection and with your person, but understanding, which hopefully I really hope that this reading gave you some understanding as to like what is going on under the surface. How can you see that as equally sacred a place to be in, both for you and your person, an equally spiritual place for both of you to be in, as the union would be. Okay, so take that message in the sense that it resonates the best to you, and let me know in the comments below what this message spoke, or how this message spoke to you. Let's get some messages from this oracle deck. This is the Moonlogy manifestation. I'm trying to pick up one card that is stuck to the table and have, oh, there we go, finally. Okay, so what is the message for you, pile 3? At this time, I kind of feel like, you know, sometimes this happens in tarot readings where to me as a reader, a message is confusing, but then someone who's watching this reading will tell me, oh no, this is, you know, so right to the question that I had in my mind, or something that I was trying to resolve, and it came at the right time. So the previous message certainly seems to be of that kind. What's the message for you? There we go. Oops. It says, believe in your good luck. Awesome. This is the same as trust, as I said. And no matter what, like no matter what comes out of this connection, the message for you is to really have the faith, as I said, in universe, or whatever you want to call it, God, and knowing that you're being led to things that are meant for your highest goods. Highest good, not highest goods. Sorry about that. So one last message for my pile 3 people. Okay. Just right now I feel like the message for you is to really stand tall in your trust and have some faith in yourself. We have reach for the stars, and there's another card that was wanting to come up, so I'm going to bring it over, and it says rejuvenate. So reach for the stars. Aiming, this to me talks about like aiming higher than you hoped for. And it could be to do with your love life goals and relationship goals, and perhaps for some of you the message is to understand that you don't have to settle for this. You don't have to do this relationship if you're not wanting to, and if this waiting for your person to transform and to go to whatever they're going through, if the waiting for that is becoming quite difficult, that there is a way for you to let go of this connection and really reach for something that is best for you or much better for you. Okay, and rejuvenate, this is somewhat taking a break, stepping away from this connection as your person has done at this time, and really taking the time to feel good. Focus on feeling good. I don't know if you are familiar or even fans of Esther Hicks Abraham and their teachings, but she always says that the focus should be on feeling really good, and then everything just falls into place. And I completely believe that, and it sounds like a very mindless message, and something that is that doesn't have a lot of substance, but actually there's a lot of hidden truth, deeper spiritual truth in that. When we focus on our own well-being, we start attracting things that will only enhance that feeling. I totally believe that. So take some time to dedicate to yourself too, and to feel a renewed sense of refreshment of in your own energy. Okay, so yeah, I hope that these messages were helpful. I hope they gave you some insight, especially this part with the advice for you. I really hope that they give you some things to think about that probably you didn't think about in the past. And please leave a like to this video if this really did help you, and I hope that you will subscribe and stay for more future readings to come. Thank you so much. I will see you next time. Bye.